Hello and welcome to another Digital Foundry Let's Play PC Time Capsule video, this time looking at Ubisoft's Far Cry 3. I'm playing on a retro, well, maybe kind of retro PC for this video, but I'm also joined by my two colleagues like we've been doing as of late. First, with John over there on the PS3. How you doing, John?
That's right, it's me, John Keith Lindemann. I claim Keith.
And we're also joined by Richard Ledbetter over there on the Xbox 360. Rich, do you like this intro video?
Yes, hello. I'd like it even more if I could skip it, but when you try, you actually get the pause menu. A pause menu on a pre-rendered FMV of questionable quality.
Wub, wub.
I mean, I kind of get why they do it. You know, they're setting the mood for the game.
Yeah.
They're probably loading in the background a little bit, maybe. Possibly. It's hard to tell.
These guys, this cast is so 90s.
Well, I do actually like what they're doing here. They're making the cast as dumb as possible on purpose, right? And then it's like, oh, they're getting thrust into this nasty situation. That's pretty fun. But so, Alex, the main reason we decided to do this, I think, is we've talked about this, but Far Cry 3 is a legendary game.
It is. It's awesome.
And well, it is awesome, but it's also legendary for being that point during the generation of PS3 and 360 where performance became so unacceptably bad that it was genuinely shocking that anything released like this, because this is, I think, one of the worst performing AAA games ever released. Like, it is so bad, like just pure garbage in terms of performance. And I this is not hyperbole. And we're going to show all of this today.
Yeah,
this intro scene, for example, I'm getting about 20 frames per second on the Xbox 360. I think you're lower than that, John.
Yeah, it's more around 15 to 18.
Oh
on
my
the PS
gosh.
And there's no tearing here yet. This is double buffered. But once we get to the game, oh boy.
Yeah, they basically turn on double buffer VSync for the cutscenes by the look of it. So that's why you're getting this brutally poor performance.
I mean, this game genuinely performs like a bad N64 game.
It really does, actually.
Well, did N64 have tearing?
No.
So in a way, it's worse.
It is bad.
But there's a lot to talk about beyond that, of course. There's much to say.
Yeah, right? I mean, well, if you look at this right here, let's talk about a little bit about the lead up to the launch of this game. One of the first things we actually saw was the initial demo showing off Voss and like what is the definition of insanity. I think it takes place at a different part in the game after this one, because it's not during the nighttime. It's at like after you get recaptured again. But it kind of like sparked the imagination of what would be the next Far Cry game, because the first game made by Crytek, it's quite different than the second game. Second game, very ambitious, but with a lot of faults, opening, with this open world structure. What would be the third game here? And this is almost, I would say, the birth of the Ubisoft formula. Comes in Far Cry 3 to a certain degree.
Yeah.
To a certain degree, but I think a lot of these things were already founded in Assassin's Creed. But this really dialed in the formula. But at the time when Far Cry 3 released, it actually felt rather fresh. Because, as we'll see, one of the key components here is that the crafting is actually somewhat fun and useful. Finding animals, objects, things like that feeds directly into the gameplay loop by directly impacting your skills in the game, which actually made it worth hunting things down, which is cool. And of course, we'll look more at that once we get into the game, because right now we're still in the middle of this introduction cinematic, which again was also a pretty significant shift in tone. Like Far Cry 1 from Crytek was just
a B movie,
it's a B movie with horrible dialogue, but it's hilarious. It's great with Jack Carver in there. Far Cry 2 tried to take itself, I'd say, a little more seriously overall.
It's pretty gritty. It is.
It's a gritty game. And this one though, like. Let's just stay for it. Don't move right away. Let's just get a static.
I think this game is trying to be very ironic, and it went over a lot of people's heads at the time. But I mean, it's rightfully criticized for being a bit stupid. But you play a very like a kid right out of college, I believe, and you're all a bunch of dude bros going on vacation to some place that has like a revolution going on, and then you kind of are consumed by it, Heart of Darkness style.
Speaking of consumption, let's consume this video game by walking forward.
I'm walking forward with the W key. I'm getting straight 60 FPS right now, which is great.
Oh yeah, look at this right away.
Lucky you.
I mean, look at this. This is why this game fascinates me. Like, how? Oh man, I feel like I'm going crazy.
The tearing is constant, essentially.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
So there's this constant sort of wobble.
So is the definition of insanity the amount of tearing that this game has?
Yeah, so the thing about this game is when we talk about performance these days, sometimes we say, oh, this game is a pretty stable 30 FPS, and you get people chiming in, that's unplayable. How could they release a game that runs at 30 frames per second? But this is the era that comes to mind. This is the era when I was still reading DF and not part of it.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember just seeing this and just being flabbergasted at the level of performance and thinking that when we got to Xbox One and PS4, despite their faults, it was a monumental leap over this kind of stuff.
Well, Far Cry 4 was basically a flat 30 on both consoles,
Yeah,
which
exactly.
is like a luxury compared to what we have here.
And the same is true of Assassin's Creed 4 Black Flag. Those Assassin's Creed games also ran very badly on consoles
Didn't that launch
during
at
this generation.
60?
And then, no, it didn't. But it was a stable
Oh,
30
stable
with
30.
a lot of next-gen features, if you
That's
recall.
what it was, where they released the next gen version of the game.
Oh, look at that. Look at that shadow.
Oh, yeah.
Did you see that?
Yeah, I did.
Oh
The
my
Shadow's
God.
on PC. I'm playing on Ultra, by the way. This is the same rig I used in the Battlefield 3 video, which is very era appropriate. Core i5 2500K, GTX 670, 8 gigs of RAM, I think. And yeah, it is. And then all running on a nice SSD, which is pretty cool. Very of the era. Also, it's running the game beautifully right now.
This was definitely the era when I had pretty much abandoned new games on consoles outside of first-party stuff because there was just no point in playing this. I think Richard and we both ran out and bought copies right in the last couple days just for this video.
Yeah, this is one where
Yep.
there's almost no reason to own it if you have the PC version, which is stellar. I mean, that's one thing we can talk about too, is this definitely seems like a game that was designed and prototyped and almost everything was done on PC, and then they spent a lot of
Right.
time trying to push that into those old consoles, and they obviously didn't succeed based upon what they did.
Yeah.
Thing is, you could say the same about Far Cry 2, which also runs pretty poorly. Not quite as bad
It
as
does,
this,
but
but still bad.
Not like this. I would say that this kind of suggests to me that Dunia and the technology behind it, they weren't successfully targeting console platforms. It very clearly seems to have favored PC, and what they're doing here, the decisions they made with this engine and the type of rendering they're doing ended up being a bad choice for these machines.
Yeah.
And I think you could do a better looking game than this, maybe not at this scale, with much better performance, but you have to make sacrifices in other areas. And I feel they didn't make the right sacrifices for this game on console.
Yeah.
But when you see that PC version, you kind of see what's going on.
Yeah, there's a heck of a lot of stuff going on here, technology wise. This
Yes.
was Dunya being upgraded to what it almost looks like a lot actually in Far Cry 4. Kind of
Exactly.
also a little bit in Far Cry 5, honestly, too.
Yeah.
How do I
And
how do I
6,
get up here?
a little bit.
Okay, it just kind of auto jumps you a little bit. So one of the key defining features of this, and that was pretty rare for the time period, was the usage of a way to do real-time global illumination. At this time, engines still were not doing it most of the time.
Well,
And did you die, John?
I was not paying attention when he started to move again. So I waited a little bit too long
It's okay.
and got caught.
This happens.
So let's try this
Yeah.
again. But look at this loading when you die.
I wonder how long it'll take.
This is pretty horrible.
The one thing, so a lot of engines didn't have real-time GI at that point. CryEngine was pushing with its light propagation volumes, but wasn't seeing much success on consoles at all.
LPVs.
I just threw a rock and hit his head. That was really awkward. Now they're coming for us because I threw the rock and it hit his head by accident. It's pretty awkward. Oh no, John, I'm also going to die too now.
So I'm just going to wait here because you guys
Please.
are so far behind at this point with your incompetent boobery.
Excuse me.
Well, Rich, the problem is that I waited too long in the one scene and lost because of it.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's
So I'm gonna
So
lurk
be careful.
in the shadows then. So look, we're looking at Far Cry 2. It was very much a system-driven game, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
And but it was not really an open world as such. It's kind of corridors.
It was exactly. It was open corridors.
Open corridors. But this is an actual open world in the Ubisoft style.
It is.
And that they've really pushed the technology onwards. And I have to admit, revisiting the game, I was, in terms of what they're doing on these consoles, which were designed in like 2004, 2005 release for the 360. This is astonishing, I think, regardless of the performance, which is...
Yeah. There's some good stuff going on. And like I said, I actually genuinely did enjoy this at the time. It's only really become an issue as they've expanded it outward and sort of doubled down on busy work. But I think Far Cry 3 struck a really nice balance of giving the player just enough stuff to do outside of the main missions to keep you engaged and upgrading your equipment. It may not have been as systems driven. I mean, it is systems driven, but not quite like Far Cry 2 in terms of simulation. But I still think they did a lot of really cool stuff with it.
Oh, for sure. And one of the cool systems driven things that I was talking about before I died was the usage of global illumination, real-time global illumination on all platforms using pre-computed radiance transfer, which is like a probe system that we see nowadays in modern games, but it was really not at all common back then.
No, it was not. It was basically
non-existent. And apparently the PC version of it also has it apply to not just the sunlight, but also to other lights in the game world, which is one thing I want to see if it happens here at all. When we get to an area where I'm not just waiting to do this, because I want to see if there's actually a difference in the way the GI propagates at nighttime here. So if you guys can wait a little bit and don't push too far forward there, just... Yeah.
Okay, let's wait under the bridge here, John.
Yeah.
Under the bridge.
Because, well, the next scene's also at nighttime, technically. It starts off at nighttime, and maybe we could see it there.
It quickly switches to day once you go up to the first tower, which, you know what? We joke about the tower stuff, but I will also say I think that is conceptually an interesting idea. Mm-hmm. It was just overused. But the idea of climbing a tower to suddenly gain information about the lay of the land, that's cool. I do think that's cool.
That is actually cool. And I also do like the original in this game, like the spin around animation it does when you capture it. It like shows you the game world, gives you a sense of what you need to do next, maybe.
And also the fact that climbing the towers, each tower was like its own little puzzle, right? Like figuring out the way that you can actually reach the top, rather than Assassin's Creed arguably has aspects of that, but I never thought it worked that
the
well.
Original does. The original Assassin's Creed, it was more of a puzzle in terms of how to scale these things, but it was...
No, you're totally right.
Later on, it just turned into press forward and a button.
Yeah, I think Assassin's Creed 1 is an example similar to Far Cry 2, where conceptually the underlying like mechanical idea is really interesting and complex.
Oh, yeah.
It just wasn't fully fleshed out yet.
Sorry, this rendering of the character.
Hey,
old X to
I'm gonna say that I actually think the rendering of the characters here is pretty darn good.
It's all right for
the time. Yeah, notice that massive SSAO halo, which everything has got really.
Yeah, what you may notice on PC, the SSAO halo isn't there because I'm using quote-unquote HDAO. I have no idea what it is in terms of an AO technique, but it doesn't cause the massive halo along, objects and stuff like that.
Man, these scenes, I will say Voss was an interesting villain for this game, even though they got rid of him too early, I'd say. What's funny, though, is last year I mentioned when I was sort of recovering, I played a lot of Far Cry 6 and had a good time with it, amazingly. And there was this theory going around, which has since been disproven, that the prince, I guess the heir to the throne of the leader of that island was Voss.
Oh.
And there's enough things in there that could actually make you think that might be the case.
That is interesting. I never really thought that.
And so there was a lot of conversations around that, but it kind of turned out like, well, no, it's not actually the case. But that would have been a fun thing, I feel, to tie back in there.
I feel like he's
because that son sees some messed up stuff, with his father.
Are you suggesting a Far Cry cinematic universe?
I think there already is, actually.
It's like a prequel. Well, there is, thanks to Uwe Boll.
Okay.
Have you guys seen the Far Cry
I have,
film?
actually.
I have. It's certainly something.
So this kind of dramatic intro thing became a bit of a Far Cry staple, but it seems to have started here, really, because the intro in Far Cry 2 was basically driving along for a bit.
Yeah,
and then getting,
Far Cry 2's
and then getting ill.
pretty bad. It's pretty bad.
Yeah.
It's a bit like Far Cry 2 was still copying the old Half-Life design, where it's like you're just like on something, like on a ride for a while, and then you get off and you go. But this is the one that introduced like extreme things happening.
My goodness.
I'm loving the way the command is to mash.
Mash.
You have to mash the button.
I also thought, I was like, oh, that's a great verb. Just mash it.
The thing is, looking at all the way the foliage and terrain rendering works in this game, I still think Crysis 1 does it better.
Oh, it definitely does. Like, for the most part, it really does.
Yeah, I mean, there are some things this is doing new that Crysis didn't do, of course, like the GI stuff, which is cool. But Crysis invented a lot of cool stuff too, right?
Yeah.
And I would say the less good, but still okay, CryEngine 3 console ports of Crysis 1 look and run better than this.
They definitely do. They run a lot better.
Look
based on
better?
I do think they look better because it's just... I think the way the island is rendered is more
Visually pleasing?
visually striking, just more visually pleasing than this. Like the way the trees look in this always felt a little off to me.
I can understand what you're
The
saying.
foliage and that, it just looks like they use like a terrain generation system and then plop some grass textures and trees on top of it.
I get exactly what
It
you mean.
feels, it looks very generated.
It probably was based on the fact that they had to make such large. There's 2 islands in this game.
Oh,
Right?
yeah.
The first one you start off on
Yeah.
already feels huge, and then you realize, oh my god, I'm not done with the game. There's a second half where I kind of redid what I did in the first half. That's the
That was too
much
much
game at that point in time. But that's where I also stopped playing the game back in the day. I like upgraded my guy. I had all the guns with the cool skins and da. And it's like, oh, there's a second island.
The story kind of falters at that point, unfortunately, and you know Voss is no longer part of it, I guess, after
Yeah,
that.
he isn't.
So,
like,
which is
Look
a
at this
shame.
guy. I think his character rendering's pretty awesome, actually.
I agree. This looks great.
So some other really cool rendering stuff in here. Real-time GI. This is the Far Cry engine Dunya's first foray into like the beginning parts of physically based rendering. They actually are using a material model that is physically based and consistent across the entire game. So it's not just like random materials that they just made up along the way. That's why the guns and like the knife he's holding there, the metals look really, really good. It's like their first foray into that.
Reminds me of The Witcher 3 in that regard, which also uses physically based rendering, but only the metals really exhibit those properties in terms of
good, consistent way.
in a convincing manner.
Yeah.
Right?
I'd agree with that. In this game, it is really the metals. Like if you look at the corrugated metal roofs and stuff in this game, they look really excellent. At least on PC, there's like usage of FXAA as well as MSAA. But I'm currently not running the game with MSAA on Ultra right now because a GTX 670 is just not enough for 60 FPS with MSAA on at 1080p. It's a shame, but you know, this is technically not the best PC you could have had at that time. Just a good
You're
one.
loving the black glow here around the arms. It's nuts. I think the worst one I remember seeing back in the day with this sort of extreme SSAO was...
Let's look at some of that SSAO right now.
LA Noire. That was really bad.
That was horrible.
See, this scene here runs pretty heavy on the PC right now. It's like 45, depending upon what's going on right now. It's pretty brutal.
Oh, well.
It's like sub 20 on the triple.
So another thing that's interesting here is that I'm behind all of you on this engine-driven cutscene. That's because the loading on the 360 is worse than either of your versions, even the triple.
And you made mention that they're doing perhaps a partial load when you were installing this earlier, Rich?
360, I've done a
I
full
did.
install.
Oh, that was you, John. My mistake. Sorry.
No, on the PS3 they do partially install some of the game to the system and then run the rest off the disc, so it's like a hybrid solution. Which was pretty common, I think, on PS3, especially later in the generation.
Oh yeah, for sure. So actually,
They eventually patched Metal Gear Solid 4 to be able to install the entire game, which is great, rather than each individual chapter.
But then, do you still get the cool smoking stuff?
You don't. Only the first time.
Man, that's the best part.
So is this deferred lighting?
Yeah, it is. It's a deferred engine. Pretty sure almost everything is.
Deferred rendering was like the new hotness at this point still. Kind of after Killzone 2, I feel, like came and went. People were like, whoa. But it didn't always work out for the better on these machines. Like, I think Capcom's MT Framework games got significantly worse when they went to MT Framework 2.0, which was deferred. And it ran very poorly on these machines comparatively.
So let's see here if, like I was saying earlier, that the GI apparently on PC applies to local lights as well too. And a good way to check that out.
Hold on, let me just purchase this weapon.
I'll do the same.
Okay, now I will go back.
Yeah. Well,
so
let's look inside here,
right at the door,
and let's look. I think probably looking above would show like GI bounce, whatever.
The FOV in this game is so insanely narrow, it's kind of shocking.
Okay, so actually looking at the rafters here, there is a shading difference. There is bounce light coming from below. So like here we're getting a bit of it. I mean, it's a different look.
Look at that.
It's not.
Wait, I can see some of the like a blue glow up there, but look at this SSAO from the fan. It's so dark. So it's kind of ruining the.
I mean, I could turn that on as well on PC. It does have that, but I just don't want it on right now. This is a game where, like, if they were to re-release it, they could actually really spice it up graphically. This game doesn't have SSR.
Ray trace version.
Ray trace. Do the ray trace GI, like full GI. It would make the game look incredible. Yeah. It would still look really, really good. All right, so let's go outside.
So
and
let's come over here and check out the dancing. Let's see how it compares between.
These are the island vibes. What is the name of this island again, John?
So check out the shadows on this guy here between our two platforms and the way that they're represented. It's quite different.
Oh yeah.
You notice that?
That is interesting.
It's also different even on the 360 version. Like the shadow looks a bit sharper on 360 versus PS Triple, and then PC is very different.
Yeah. So there's one thing that was common back in the day is different hardware. Especially NVIDIA hardware at this time, I remembered distinctly, they had different, like, really cheap filters that would be used for shadow maps.
For shadows. I think we're seeing, because you probably can't see it over the stream, but the edges are extremely dithered.
Oh, yeah? What do they look like on Xbox there, Rich? It's a little hard to tell over the stream.
It's difficult to tell, but you're right, John, because, there was quite a lot of games had very different shadows on between 360 and PS3, PCF and whatnot, typically on the Sony platform, if memory serves.
Yep. Okay.
Also, check out under the stool here. You can see it reveals the lower resolution nature of maybe the SSAO or something else, but it's like extra chunky down there.
Could be the SSAO, because if it's
like look at the stair step there. Can you can probably see that jagged edge on the stool there.
I can literally see it on the stream. Yeah.
Also check out this dude's kicks right here. Look at
that. The textures, are they pretty okay? There's like some nice how do you call them, tiling detail maps on them, which give at least on the pants, they look pretty good.
So these guys
check out these air bongos. He's got a bongo in front of him, but he's not going to use it.
Not going to use it. He's too cool for that.
Actually, yeah. I've never stopped to look closely at items in this camp. Like, wow, let's see here. So we got this texture for these chilies.
Okay. Not bad. And some loose chilies there,
right.
too,
Wait, look inside this container here. Is your texture higher res, Alex?
It's kind of.
Actually, look, the tablecloth. The tablecloth actually has like a cloth texture on PC.
Yeah, I think
it does not on the PS.
So that's one thing I think that's missing is some of the tiling detail textures, which help out a lot of the texture work in this game.
They were still doing that. How about just like the general ground texture? What's this?
Let me get over to that. Which one is that one right there?
I'm just next to
that little stool.
Right by this.
Okay,
yeah.
So I'm looking at it like right here where the stool's in the bottom left corner.
Yeah.
It's not bad.
I mean, that's all right.
It isn't bad, actually.
Okay. What, is there anything else I want to check out before we continue? Because this place
I don't think so.
got the.
I mean, we've already
It's
looked
very
in.
dark.
We've
Whoa.
already. Oh
Whoa.
my God, PG, John, please.
Wait. They're actually not like horribly clipping through each other, so they did a good job setting that up. Wait, a little
Just
bit.
a tiny bit. Just a tiny bit.
It's pretty good though. All right, let's.
I'm
continue.
actually really liking the shadow filtering on PC here. It looks pretty great. So let's go over to the waypoint marker, which is our friend, whose name I've forgotten already.
Dennis.
Yes, that's it.
With his tatao. All right.
Yeah.
Do we have touch bending? No.
No, not for the first-person character. I don't think. I think it just does like a little jiggle for most things. That's one thing. Here, yeah, it just does a jiggle. It doesn't do like the really nice. Well, maybe it does a little bit. It's hard to tell.
So I love this. When you come out here, you find a friendly character, and the first thing it does is show R1 to shoot, L1 to
Yeah,
aim.
I
So
know.
by that logic, most people would just go,
Oh, okay. No, John, don't
But
do
then it
that.
does nothing.
Yeah, and Dennis here, not at all phased by effectively having a handgun pulled on
Oh my
for no
God.
reason whatsoever.
Actually, you know,
You shot him.
Twice.
this is another area where we can see.
Now it tells me to go to the radio
Want to
tower.
go up here? Then where these lights are telling us
Yeah.
to go? Okay.
Yeah, what are you looking at,
I'm
Alex?
just curious once again about the bounce lighting because it should be pretty obvious on these like lone lights around here, like this one near the building.
Oh, so hold on, let me see. Is that? Yeah, look at this. The lights are called at a distance.
Oh
Look,
yeah.
if you look in this area, watch when I walk close.
So interestingly,
There
the
you
light
go.
calling distance
Oh,
on
on
PC is the
PC as
same.
well. Interesting.
That is interesting.
That was a difference I recall with Metal Gear Solid 5, like Ground Zeroes and everything, where the PC version I think allowed you to crank that way up. You could push the lights
way up.
out.
That
It looked awesome.
that was a game as well as Ground Zeroes. I think MGS5 also too has an incredible PC version in general.
Yeah,
the
it
only thing that
does. It's so
sucked a
good.
little bit about Ground Zeroes is that it didn't support higher than 60. That was the only thing that wasn't really cool.
Slow down, Alex.
Oh yeah,
You're rushing.
Yeah,
ahead
sorry,
of
I'm so
us.
used
What are you
to
doing, buddy?
sprinting across the landscape here. Oh,
Man, this actually looks all right, and also it's low res, but I like how they have depth of field applied to the distant
yes,
scenery.
it's pretty good looking on PC. No issues there. One thing I'm noticing is look at the water at the distance. If you John, get on top of this rock really quickly, and look
Okay.
without falling down the mountain.
Yeah.
And let's look at the. So for you, it almost looks like
Oh, it looks
the
completely different.
like the planar reflection is not rendering correctly on the PS3 almost. Like you can see like this the sky through the mountains in the water reflection almost.
Yeah, same on the 360 though.
How did Rich's time of day accelerate so much faster
I
than
don't know.
I've got no idea.
Rich? I would ask you almost to pause so that we have the same time of day, but
That's okay.
think, well-
let's just let's go climb the tower.
yeah, there was a snake.
Yeah, he's gonna get me.
Yeah, I love
There he is.
just the random snake that comes out of nowhere and
I shot him.
bites you.
He's dead.
That's it.
You're right though, Alex. With the medals on his weapon, it looks good. The weapons in this game look.
They do
great.
look awesome. One thing about those weapons too is when we get downstairs earlier during the daytime, after we glide on like some sort of rope or something from this, we're gonna look at
It's called
the
a zip line.
zip line. We can look at the guns when we get close to the jungle floor, where there we'll see the really cool effect of the GI on them, which looks great.
Wait, if I got look
What's
at this, you
on
can
there?
really see the texture filtering up close, or sorry, the shadow filtering on the base of this
Oh yeah, I'll
ladder.
go down there and look at it.
Like the dither pattern. Look how different this is between.
So
them.
like here, PC does actually look kind of lower res here on PC. This shadow in specific.
Let's see what Rich has with the
When he
360.
gets there.
You're almost there, Rich. Okay, don't run into the ladder. Just walk up close to it. Otherwise, you kind of grab it automatically. So look how different these are. If I back
I'll
up
back
a little
up a
bit,
little bit,
you know.
too.
Oh, God,
Yeah,
jeez, come on,
it's
stop.
crap. I know.
Yeah. So like all three versions render their shadows differently.
Do you like also how because you're up high on a tall tower, the wind is making the character view move around a little
Yeah,
bit?
Kind of
That's
move
cool.
around.
It's a cool detail.
That's a nice touch.
So John, this is talking about also doing the type of ladders that you mentioned in our Half-Life 2 video,
Yeah.
where
The
the
scripted
scripted
ladders.
It does look nice seeing your hands.
It looks good, and it's probably fine for this. It's just a different kind of thing. All right. Ready to interact?
Yes.
Let's time it. So on a count, I'm going to do 1, 2, 3, go, and then we hold the button, okay?
This.
On go. So 1, 2, 3, go.
It kind of worked.
You'll fix it in post.
I'll fix it in post. Yeah.
Yeah, there we go. Oh, the 360 version looks choppier here.
It is choppy. There's no doubt about it.
Oh, you can see that LOD fade in from that rapid panning. It's pretty nuts what they're doing here,
There
actually.
seems to be some sort of
Whipping the
fog that moves with the camera or something on PC, I'm noticing.
Yeah.
It looks a little weird when you do that.
Y'all ready to use the
Let's
zip line?
zip line.
Or this rope thing, Alex?
I would love to use the rope thing.
Okay, let's 1, 2, 3, go! Woohoo!
Yeah.
Yeah, baby.
You know, the LODing isn't that bad, all things considered, I think.
No,
For a
it's
game
fine.
of this era. Look how happy he is that we unlocked that.
I only shot him
Ubisoft
twice.
Even though you shot him twice. I'm reminded of Steven Seagal in Under Siege 2. He gets shot in the shoulder, taken
just
out by the
ignores
bad guys, and then he just ignores it. And they say to him, "You were shot, weren't you?" And he said, "No, I wasn't." It just carries on for the rest of the movie as per normal.
Oh gosh,
This is
Under Siege. I kind of like the first one. What's the subtitle?
the second one's great.
Isn't the second
Just for cheese.
Isn't it just called like Under Siege 2? Like the train doesn't stop here. I don't know what it's called. Set a waypoint.
Okay, now you have to wait. I think they're talking. I can't
yeah,
hear
we're
it.
currently
Yeah, basically,
playing without much audio.
you're about to be tasked with boar abuse.
So this actual aspect, aside from what it, that I actually think it works pretty well for the gameplay here, because conceptually all of the stuff that you're hunting directly connects to something in your inventory.
Yes.
Right? And the upgrades are actually meaningful in terms of it directly impacts how you can play the game, which actually made it worthwhile kind of exploring the island. The problem is that they kind of took this formula and they just kept adding to it to the point where there was too much stuff to find, and then it became tedious. I think less is more in these cases.
So I'll get in the car then.
So
let's synchronize
go
our
get in
driving.
this. Is it like a Yugo? No, I don't know.
You
Okay,
go.
let's drive. Wait, how do I drive?
It's the right figure.
Oh, it's the R1.
Oh.
I'm surprised I didn't use the analog.
One thing I'm already
triggers.
seeing here is that there are shadows on the transparencies of the glass, which is cool looking. That does
Yeah.
definitely look pretty cool. Not very common back in the day. I remember it was in Uncharted 1 and 2, I believe. Kind of in Crisis 1.
Oh yeah, I remember that. Wow, trying to drive
Where are we going?
at this frame rate. There's a waypoint.
Oh,
over there to
yeah,
go
yeah.
hunt
We
some
gotta
boars.
hunt some boar together.
Just follow this road.
Oh, yeah,
around
there's a boar
there
farm
we
or
go.
something.
the boar farm.
Pop out. There we go.
So this is all about collecting
Kill and skin two
So-
boars.
flora and fauna, basically.
So one thing I'm always thinking about when I look at this little shanty here is I just love. This reminds me of Crisis 1, and I want to blow these things up. I really do.
Oh, I know that, man. What an amazing thing that is.
So I'm supposed to collect some red leaves and some boar skins and a blue leaf.
Yeah. There's a bunch of materials you need in this one.
Yeah, let's do this.
Oh, right. So
So if you just follow the leaves on the mini-map
I think
and just cull it all.
these are underwater things or something like that.
Yeah, there's a plant underwater you need as well.
The breeze wakame.
oh, I see it.
Nice.
Yeah. Whoa.
I need it.
Huh. The underwater visual effect is pretty alright.
Yeah, it isn't bad at all. It's kind of just like some sort of interesting depth of field going on. It looks like.
It's as you'd expect from a game like this. Oh, the water surface there doesn't look great, does it?
Let me get over there.
When you're on it like this.
Oh no, is it intersecting with the camera constantly as well?
Not too bad, but it's just crocodile.
So where are the boars?
Oh, the tearing there. Wow. That is epic
Yeah,
tearing.
that looked like it was running horribly, John. Oh, I'm being attacked by a wild boar.
That's one of your boars.
It took 245s. What an epic boar. I do love the animation when he cuts the thing open and pulls out what looks like a heart and stuffs it in a bag.
Yeah, they're literally butchered like a hog.
I know. It is awesome,
one,
though. And it's fast enough to maybe not be annoying right now. Planar reflections look pretty good. The water is a bit static. Like, there's no really big geometric undulation on its surface itself.
No.
You gotta find boar number 2.
Yeah, I did preview this by giving it a quick go earlier, just so I wasn't going to have incompetent gameplay throughout. But the boars were together then. This time
They've split
they're
them
proving
up.
more elusive.
They're using boar tactics.
Yeah.
This is...
The power of AI.
Come on.
Oh, there he is.
Is he on the other island, or is he still on this part of the
No,
island?
he's just lurking around.
He's gotta, okay, I'm gonna
He's running away.
pay attention a bit more. Oh, there's a bunch of boars over there. There we go. So let's see if I can headshot the
Okay.
boar. Nope.
Now I can fast travel to that place
345s.
when you're
What
ready.
a boar.
There we go.
Yeah. I've
Boar hide.
kill and skin 2 boars. So you wanted to fast travel here, John?
Well, that's what it says
Oh,
to do.
okay. Well,
So, we
So
fast travel.
I just
back
picked
to
up an
Dennis
item
Town.
called Heron Fetish Item. what on earth? And when I first played through this earlier, I had a boar fetish item.
so one thing that I actually like about this game, John, you're going to see it after it loads, is you're going to see how the LOD switches. It does a cross dissolve. Did you see it, perhaps?
Yeah.
I actually
absolutely.
like that a
I
lot.
saw it during that initial.
It
pan.
helps get rid of pop-in, which is a pretty big deal, actually.
Okay.
As soon as you're done there, Rich, fast travel back here and just don't touch anything, and we can get a nice comparison.
Yeah. There's we can already see some of the lighting differences in this room, though, too, beyond the SSAO, but that local light GI is making the room just a bit brighter. Not that it necessarily looks that much better or anything like that. I think it kind of just looks okay.
Right. Yeah, the ceiling is kind of just dark on the triple.
You know, it's moody. It's not bad.
Oh, look at that AO.
Now there's like this yellow tint to the ceiling on the metal. It's like okay.
Yeah, this is
Yeah.
interesting stuff.
Are you grabbing
Oh,
a gun?
I don't want to go in there. No. Let me out. Okay. So, where do we go next? I guess follow.
Let's
the
go to the other
Probably
checkpoint.
to
Let's
Dennis.
hope though that we should.
Oh no, I went
I think
out.
we should be able to get a gun now, like a bigger gun that isn't just a pistol.
Oh, there's the door.
We should maybe go to the general store.
Yeah.
Nah, I'm not feeling it either. No, let's go
It's
to the waypoint marker then.
yeah. This looks good. I will say it's not a bad looking
Yeah,
game.
I know. One thing we have to do is we should try and get some Molotov cocktails to show the burning system, which is still in from Far Cry 2 technically.
Oh yeah.
You can buy the
And-
Molotovs in that
Oh yeah,
thing that that little cabin we were just in.
Far Cry 3 service is not available. Yes. Oh, let me talk a little bit about getting this game running nowadays. So this is a Windows 7 PC I'm playing on. Why can't I leave the menu here? Oh, I have to go to crafting.
You've got
SOE.
this is mandatory crafting.
Okay. I'm selecting it. I've selected it. Let's craft it. Okay, good. Back. Oh my god, do they want me to use it or craft it? Jeez.
No, you have to go to the.
Yeah. They
Go to the next
Yeah.
page. Yeah. Rucksack. Okay, so what am I doing here? So it's saying to tell me to go to the rucksack page.
probably talking to me still.
Oh wait,
Okay, so I've looted it. I've got a simple rucksack. Rugged rucksack. I have to find a tapir hide. Can't even recall what a
course you
tapir
do.
is. Isn't it like a little mammal thing? I don't know. Oh, and then yeah, that's right. There's an entire skill and unlock tree. You can cook grenades.
Yep.
That's cool.
Tapir is a large herbivorous mammal belonging to the family.
It appears
Tapiridae.
directly on the tattoo or the tatau. Sorry,
Oh, yeah, I have to view the tattoo, and that's it? Oh, is that it?
the
Oh, I gotta
tatau.
look at all these other sharks and a spider.
So we're going to synchronize the. You just need to select the icon that's in the middle. on each
Okay,
one.
good. Thank you.
So let's synchronize the next drive.
Yeah. So
Okay. Sorry, I
come on,
got it.
Alex,
This takes a little bit.
get out, learn it,
There we go.
get out.
Oh, look at that.
See,
Tatao.
We're gonna
Do we want to buy some
hit the
Molotovs or
road
no?
dance here. Can we?
Rich was saying you
Well,
would buy some.
I think I've got some. If I can't quite see where my accidentally.
I have one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, you want to test it
Yeah,
first?
I'll be right there.
So I've got 2 Molotovs.
Let's see
Do you
what...
want me to set fire
Okay, I
to
got
something?
I've got 0, so I'm gonna just watch you guys set fire things.
Okay, let's try it.
Let's see how long
is
it
it-
propagates and where it propagates. Oh, you threw it over there.
So I threw it here.
Not bad.
Okay.
So it set fire also to the
Okay.
the crate a little bit.
Yeah.
I do like the
How
charred
do you,
texture.
how do you throw the Molotov? I thought I selected it.
There's probably a throw button.
It would be
Oh,
R1.
okay, there it is. There we go. That's
You should go throw it in another spot because this doesn't seem to be burning very well. It's
Yeah,
already
find
Okay.
a place that has more shrubbery.
okay.
shrubbery. Oh, wait,
Let's try again.
Throw it in
you
the
might-
village.
Yeah, don't leave the mission area though.
Yeah.
Okay, toss it.
Right. Okay.
Burninate that countryside. Do it.
It won't let me-
R1. Select it. R1.
Are they not letting you throw it? Oh, because
No.
you've reached the city limits. That's why. You have to
Okay,
move back a
well,
little bit. Nah, screw it.
Right. Okie doke.
No.
Well, there's not so much
Uh,
foliage
let's-
around here.
let-
is
let-
Let's just get in the car.
let's get in the Jeep.
Let's get in the car.
there? Okay.
Awesome texture work in the car. So let's.
Okay, so on the count of 3, I'll say
Mm-hmm.
go. So 1, 2, 3, go.
Ta-da!
There we go.
This is where they're using some of that
Yeah.
Far Cry 2 scripting. Yeah.
This is very reminiscent of the beginning of Far Cry 2.
Yeah, it is.
Is this where we initially do our first attack on an outpost?
Yes.
Yeah. This is where the
So
game
there's
clicked.
lots of stealthing about if you want to not die horribly.
I know. I'm playing on the easiest setting though, thankfully. This is where the game back in the day really captured me. I actually really liked just like
Yeah, I like this
the idea of like just genuinely being able to choose between stealth or full Rambo mode in any game is something that I always really like, as long as they're meaningful. And I felt like
Right.
at the initial part of the stage of this game, it did feel kind of meaningful. I don't know. Maybe later on it doesn't feel as much, so it's hard to tell. I haven't played the game in full in years. It's good in the
Well, we have just done a Rambo rampage against boars
Yes.
with a handgun. It's not quite the hunting experience I had in mind.
Oh, this is great.
Okay, here we go.
So I'm going to try and pick up one of the enemy weapons here, too.
So how's this tree shadow look for you guys? If we look
Nice
down here.
and soft on my end. Rich's looks actually rather hard-edged in comparison.
It's quite
It is
different.
quite different. One thing that's
Yeah, that's
incredibly
really odd.
different though is because I'm not using SSAO everywhere. I keep seeing all these like really big blotchy shadows on your guys' streams, and I'm like, oh, that's really different.
Yeah. Everything's surrounded by dark energy. So we're following the welcome sign in.
These bad guys with the red shirts, and I'm gonna
Yeah.
I'm gonna try and sneak kill a couple of them if I can. This is the like ultra satisfying part of the game. Who's placing anti-tank mines there?
It's a bit extreme.
Man, that damn tutorial thing just not leaving the screen. Go away. Oh my god, I'm gonna get rid of it just by hitting tutorial button.
I used an anti-tank.
Oh, it did work?
It did
Okay.
work. but it also got me hurt. He stepped right on it as soon as I placed
So
it.
one thing that this game does.
Wait, one of my friends was killed?
What? Oh yeah, like there's other people. It says mission failed for you though. What? Aren't you
Okay.
playing on the easiest setting though?
I don't know. I think so. But that's something I always dislike in games, when a fail state occurs due to something happening to an AI.
Oh god, it's the most.
Your companion. It's like, come on. Nobody likes that.
I mean, even though does break immersion quite a bit, make your AI companions just like invisible to stealth, like in stealth times, you know? Like it's actually
I
really
agree.
important to make sure that is that way, because unless it's coded so incredibly well and believably, it's just going to make everyone really annoyed. Well, there's a dog here. It's probably going to detect me.
I'm just trying to imagine if they had released The Last of Us without that feature. How much history would have changed?
So another thing
in a sense.
that I want to talk about really briefly. Oh my gosh, will I die here? Because I have to heal. Holy crap. These are such aggressive enemies for the easiest difficulty setting. Jeez. Is that... Oh my god, I may die. This game also technically has a bit of a downgrade controversy with it, if you recall.
Oh.
Where
Right.
they initially showed off the game in a demo, and the island that they showed off then at that point definitely had a lot more vegetation on it. And that could just be because at that point in time they didn't actually have the full story fleshed out, or let alone much of anything fleshed out, really. But
I think it's more like they were targeting.
yeah,
They realized they couldn't ship that on the consoles.
that's what I would have really imagined happened too, where kind of like The Witcher, where they're like, maybe we can't actually. I'm out of ammo. Jeez, what do we do here?
Place an anti-tank.
That's a tank bot. I don't even have any weapons. I should have bought some. I got a grenade.
Oh,
That's pretty useful.
I've accidentally
meth pipe.
triggered the next cutscene.
It's all right. I forgive you, Rich. Don't worry.
You can fix it in post, Alex.
I fixed it in post. What is the grenade button on PC? Oh, it's not T. That's for certain. Okay. Okay. Can I take him down? Oh my gosh. Yes. Good.
I have liberated this outpost.
So I may just die here. Oh, I do not want to die. We're not playing this. It's hard to do much without sound in a game like this, where you have to hear where the enemies are and
yeah,
sneak a
that's
bit.
true.
And I don't
The
have
thing
any
is,
ammo.
your buddies should be doing a lot of the hard work for you.
They're just chilling back
Oh,
there.
Alex. That's nasty. What you just
Okay,
did.
finally an AK. Here we go. Yeah, look at how good that AK still looks. Like, I'm actually pretty sure they use the exact same model in Far Cry 4, if I recall. Just with like a slightly different texture.
Did you know that Danny Trejo is in Far Cry 6? By
Yes. Doesn't he die in Far Cry 6?
The way? I don't know. He has like a
Cameo.
bonus appearance, and he's literally by the name Danny Trejo. Like he's not another character.
He's not
Danny
Machete?
Trejo.
What a shame. Oh, there we go. Finally, I've liberated this post. I'm gonna pick up some ammo. So one thing I really like in this game that I wish more first-person shooters did is the incredible soft cover it has. Like,
Jason.
you just,
Sorry.
you just go up to anything really, and you hit aim down sight, and it brings you into cover. It's not like Killzone 2 where it's like a dedicated button
Oh,
or
yeah.
something like that that locks you to the
Yeah.
thing. It's just, I even think it supports blind fire. Yeah, like where you just go like this, and
It's quite
it's
good. isn't
really smooth. It's incredibly well done. Love it.
it? Yeah, the core mechanics. They did a lot of good work with
Mm-hmm.
this stuff. Like just in terms of the feel.
Yeah, and
Because that's something Far Cry 2 failed at. I would
oh
say.
yeah, I'd agree with that too. And these also carry over to Blood Dragon, which is a fun game in its own right. It's just basically this game with a skin, to be honest with you, though.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going into this cutscene that you guys have already done earlier.
Much earlier.
I like how you take memory card by closing the laptop's lid.
That's how it works in real life. I know.
Oh yes. We'll wait for you, Alex, and then continue our adventure into madness. Yeah, I feel like this game should have just been triple buffered.
Yes, instead of the horrendous tearing.
Right? Because, like, the frame rate's not smooth, but people could still enjoy this much like they did, say, like, GoldenEye or something. It's just, the tearing makes it feel worse.
Did you play it on PC back in the day?
Yeah.
This is definitely one of those games that I would hope most people have at least experienced the PC version. Because it is really, really well done. It's like you have a great range of options. MSAA and a deferred rendering game, which was pretty rare at the time. It was expensive for sure, and it doesn't catch all edges because of its deferred rendering. And there's like a lot of specular aliasing here too. The extra ambient occlusion options. That all helps.
So I think we need to fast travel somewhere, right?
Yeah.
Having completed this outpost.
I need to buy some ammo. There we go.
We have to go out to Dr. Earnhardt.
Oh, yeah.
Who sounds like a scientist in crisis. So I guess let's just go hop back in our vehicle and make our way there.
Yeah.
Also, I noticed Ubisoft actually went to the trouble of getting the circle and X reversed based on your console region.
Oh, yeah?
Because I'm using a Japanese PS3 right now, and you notice it has X is back, circle is forward.
Not bad. Actually, one thing I noticed earlier is that there was a bit of vegetation destruction that I completely forgot about that this game had.
Oh, thinking of that, Rich, now you can drop your Molotov off in the jungle.
Yeah. Okay.
Do it.
Let's go over here. Assuming it lets me this time. Where should we go?
You know, off the top of my head, I actually don't even know what the... There's so many tutorials that this game just is. So one thing that is not very good is the amount of UI in this game. There is so much UI.
The Molotov isn't.
Okay, guys, I propose a challenge, Top Gear style. Are you ready?
I've got to get back to my.
Yeah, I'll get back to the Jeep too.
Everybody get to your Jeep, and we're gonna race to Dr. Earnhardt. Okay.
Which Jeep?
Whoever gets there first is the
Where
winner.
is he? is the question.
You
Wait,
ready?
how do you get in the Jeep? This takes a second. It's not letting me in. What the heck is this about?
I think. Okay.
Oh, there we
yes,
go.
you can get in the Jeep.
Let me get out of the jungle
I'm
here.
for some reason
Back to where
in
you guys
the
are.
passenger seat. It's not letting me go into the.
So have we got a waypoint here?
There we go. I'll just use this one. Screw it.
Yeah, look at that little exclamation
So, like,
point.
John,
okay.
you're like right here near the sign. Okay.
Yeah,
So we're going to drive to Dr. Earnhardt. Let me.
which is the exclamation point. So let's all place our custom waypoint on there.
Just a minute.
So go over here, hit square.
Okay.
I can't get in this. I can only get in the passenger seat. I have to use the other one. Right. Okay. So where are we heading? To the exclamation point.
Yeah, DF rally.
All the
as
way to
it's
the
called.
left. Scroll on over. The DF rally will begin. I already feel like we're like doing our own DF Top Gear style thing here. We're just a bunch of knuckleheads getting up to no good. I'm getting shot, so let's just say go.
Okay.
I'm also about to get shot, I imagine, because I'm passing by that vehicle.
And Alex, if you would turn on the radio, you could throw some outrun, some magical sound shower in here
I got some good stuff.
to sort of get set up.
I'm
the
going to take a
mood.
left.
Now the decisions that, we have to make decisions about our route,
Because we
and that's
we
gonna
obviously know
change
where we're
things.
going here. This is running really well, actually, in the open world here. I have yet to see the Ubisoft Dunya engine tick. Oh, maybe it was just right there, actually. It just happened. I lie.
Well, chaps, I'm in the river.
Immediate disqualification.
I think I lost this one. I admit defeat.
Oh, I'm almost there.
DF rally is
He's
over.
pretty far away. My goodness. Is he the guy on the top of the mountain hill kind of area?
Here, I'm gonna use
Oh, he's
this.
on it. Wait, what? How is he so far away?
We can use every tool at our disposal. I'll use fast travel.
John, you cheat.
No, you're still further than me. I gotta find a vehicle.
Oh,
again.
yeah. This is where you get like a sense of the entire scale of the island, and it is really impressive, though. I would say it is pretty cool.
I would say, yeah.
Oh my gosh, Rich and I are just neck and neck here.
Oh, I'm getting in my
I'm
Yugo.
hitting the W button as much as I can. Oh, I just crashed. No.
Yeah, that was an unexpected end to the road, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So now we're
All
off-roading.
right.
Oh gosh. Oh no. This car is not going to make it. No, I'm stuck in a tree.
Oh yes,
I live.
there's still a chance.
I'm going to go along the
We
beach
can't let-
here. I think this is the way I can go. Oh, my car is so slow now because I hit something. It's not going full speed any longer. And it's smoking. Where is this?
So I appear to have had to change vehicle.
Oh god.
I'm heading to the jet skis now.
Oh no, you found a
Uh-oh.
jet ski?
Yeah.
I have yet to. So
Oh, I think I found the part where your road ends.
I'm gonna have to get across by swimming. No, I think Rage is probably gonna win. I hope the soundtrack to this is dynamic and interesting.
Well, that's down to you, isn't
That's
it?
down
On the
to
edit.
you. Alex,
Yeah.
make this dynamic and interesting.
Oh my
The
goodness.
player reflections do look really great here, though. They have some pop in, but that's expected. Oh my gosh, we have to find another vehicle soon. I'm humping it, as they say. I don't know who they are. It's the kids. The kids say that.
You're not doing the kids thing again, please. It's
You don't know what the kids
I
say
have
these
no
days.
idea.
it's borderline sinister.
I just heard about some sort of app that was sold or bought by Discord. I had never even heard of it. It was sold for like
What's
multiple
It's called
millions.
Gas, and
Yeah.
apparently it's a way for the youth to complement each other.
It's a nice idea.
The youth.
Youths, if you've ever seen My Cousin Vinny. Great film.
I'm kind of on the final leg, I believe.
I know. I think
I'm-
you were going to win this one. Oh.
Yeah, I think you got
Infinite
this
stamina, though. You can run forever, it appears. That is a good thing. Having stamina in an open world game, unless it's something like Death Stranding, kind of annoying.
There we go.
one. Oh, Richard,
There he
you won
is.
DF
Yeah.
Rally.
That's a pre-rendered
absolutely.
video, isn't it?
I don't think so.
Oh. Let's
It
see.
might be actually. Regardless, it's incredibly slow.
I was trying to cheat and go up the mountain, but it says no.
This guy is like Senator Palpatine's fallen on hard times.
He does look a lot like a...
or he's retired to the country.
It does have. He looks very Ubisoft.
I mean, yeah, he really does. That's one thing that I would say is going to Far Cry 6.
Actually, it looks like an aged version of Michel Ancel,
That's actually not that bad.
the creator of Raven.
It's like, what was the name of that EA game? Oh, it was when they remade Syndicate, and the bad guy in Syndicate looked like one of the executives of the EA. That was the best.
Oh yeah, I love it.
Yeah, this is real time, so it is running really well actually right now on PC. It's just some areas don't run nearly as well. It kind of sucks. Ooh.
It kind of sucks. Okay, Alex, rub it in.
That's one thing. When I was playing Far Cry 6 recently for the review last year, I was kind of a little bit disappointed in the character rendering, the quality of it. If you look at it in comparison
Yeah.
to this, it has not advanced as much as other games in this genre.
No, not really.
Which is a shame. But I don't know if that's just because the priorities or budget or who knows what exactly.
That game also has what I like to call AMD quality ray
Yes, it
tracing.
really, really does. My
Beg
goodness.
your pardon.
Yeah. Oh, this house. Is it? Some weird shading going on in the background due to the depth of field. It's like having a sorting error.
Oh, because it's trying to do transparency and
Depth of field, and it's totally
together.
messing up. Yeah. But on the windows themselves, there's a nice little normal map there. This looks really good. Gives that
Yeah.
distorted glass look.
You know, in some ways, the lighting in this game is better than a game coming out at some point soon.
I wonder what that game is, John.
I think there's a demo out.
I think there's a demo out. This is our girlfriend that we need to save, right?
Or
Isn't
one
there?
of
Yeah, but the doctor there's again. He's got that dark energy about him.
Yeah, he's just. Oh my god, the SSAO
Right.
is atrocious in this game on this console.
tearing
version.
in here
My
is
goodness.
out of
it
control.
It is kind of nuts.
Isn't there like some point in this game where you like terrify your friends after you rescue them, and you're like, I'm staying on the island and I'm gonna be just like murdering people, and they all leave you.
Yeah, because you turn
Yeah.
tribal, which got
Okay.
it's a little weird.
Spoilers.
Spoilers. Also, how about that ending cinematic of this game? My goodness. I can't show that one on the stream here. Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. Oh,
Oh,
boy.
yeah.
That SSAO. Man, what were they thinking with that?
It was at this time when a lot of, just to get it running on consoles at all, like most, I can't even think of any good SSAO on consoles during this time period at all. They all looked really Halo-y or really crinkly.
Not
It
this
wasn't
bad.
bad.
Yeah, yeah.
This is the worst offender.
You guys,
And LA Noire.
have you guys ever seen the inclusion
Oh,
in
yeah, that's
Fear
true.
2? It's also
Yeah.
ridiculously bad. It's really bad. Ooh.
Is this where we head to the hang glider?
Mm-hmm. Yep. Well, we
I'm
can.
not sure where we're supposed
Right.
to be going as such. Okay, right.
There's some sort of spirit journey we have to do or something. I don't know.
The spirit.
Tell me when you
journey.
guys get
So
to the
are we
glider.
Are we going to do the hang glider?
We'll do
Where's
the
the
glider.
glider?
Yeah, we can do it.
It's up on the hill behind
The house.
the house.
Oh, I see it. Wow, that's very
Yeah,
mist-like.
this area does actually look really cool. With like this huge mountain and the vista.
All
view.
right, so you guys, let's first look at the shadow on this thing. It's different across all of them.
Okay.
Who knows?
Wait, look, the 360 and the PC shadow is more similar, but on the triple we're seeing those leaves from the trees for some
Who
reason.
knows?
Maybe time of day, I don't know.
Let's get
Anyway, on the count of 3, let's do it again. DF
Race.
hang gliding. 1, 2, 3, hang
I'm
glide.
gonna put on that really awesome music.
Oh wait,
We're leaving the
mission
mission
zone.
zone.
No, you will fail. And I don't know how to fly.
Well, let's enjoy it
born
while
to
it
fly.
lasts. I like the way Alex has just decided to crash immediately.
mission failed. Oh, it takes me
Yeah,
back.
it wasn't very obvious though how you fly it. I had to do the tutorial that it was yelling at me to do. Mushrooms in the deep. This is one where we have to go inside the cave and find the mushrooms.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, I can see just the raw terrain there without the grass.
Let's get some more. Let's get one side by side of the distance to see the difference in distance rendering a little bit. We haven't done one of those yet.
Where are we at?
we all
Different
spawned-
places.
Other than Rich.
I didn't die. That's the thing. I actually.
I'm right
Yeah,
near you,
yeah.
Alex. I think.
I do like the stream has a different like water material than the ocean rendering. It's very good looking.
Yeah.
All right. Well then, let's.
Uh,
Shall we just
Okay, so the
go to the objective?
cave's underwater.
John, shall we go to the objective then? Which is okay.
Yeah.
It's not too far. It's-
getting mauled by a boar.
the sharks over here. I should shoot them from above so I don't get whacked.
There's bad guys out there. I know it. See that character
He
keeps
keeps
coming back. It's the second
it's
video.
the same video. Okay, I'm done.
Yeah, wow, there's no reflections on it, but the ocean looks
No, it
alright.
does. Yeah. They did like the color and everything is really well done.
Oh yeah, we go
Underwater
here.
fog with that nice depth of field.
It's the drug cave underwater.
Mhm.
Okay.
So
It's like we're on an island
I did-
holiday.
this is an area where I imagine like
Ooh.
if there was a ray tracing remaster of this game, it would look insane because the lighting in a
would,
cave
yeah.
like this, it leaves very much to be desired, to say the least.
Yes. And the thing you desire is ray
Always,
tracing.
every day. Can't stop.
Well, we did get the remaster, Far Cry 3 Classic,
Mm-hmm.
and it is just a PC
Oh,
port.
okay.
But there was a lot of upset at the time because it was running at 30 frames per second.
But I think you and I and Rich have talked about this before, but this game is pretty heavy on the CPU.
It is, yeah.
Yeah, and also like Far Cry 4 was not a huge evolution technologically,
No.
right? It was a bit, but that was also a 30 FPS game.
I think I needed a 1080 Ti to run it at 4K 60. So it's not insignificant in terms of
GPU.
its requirement for maxed out experience.
Was there a re-release of this on PC, or is this it? Like,
There wasn't, no.
no.
It was part of the Far Cry 5 season pass that you
Mm-hmm.
got Far Cry 3 Classic, and if you bought the PC version, you just got the PC version of Far Cry 3.
I see.
It's
I
the same
see.
thing.
That makes
I
sense.
appear to be on a voyage to Trip Out City.
Yep.
I got some good music for this. Yeah.
Whoa, Jason is tripping balls here.
Whoa,
Oh,
they
man.
extend the FOV. That's actually pretty not bad.
Be nice if they kept it
Oh,
that
then this is
way.
where they would. But almost every Far Cry game has done this since then. Doesn't every single Far Cry game have like a discovery drug mission? I swear.
6? I know 5 does.
5 definitely does. That's the one I was thinking about.
I mean, in 6, you mostly burn crops that have drugs.
Okay.
Whoa.
So it's an actual war on drugs.
Yeah,
There's some odd
is-
pop-up
This
going
is
on here.
crazy.
I forgot about this stuff.
This is like Pixel Shader City. Like a demo.
Someone's had a lot of fun with this.
Oh, that weird pixelation. They did, yeah. Jason.
Jason!
Maybe this is what would have become of Jason.
So the house in the cave here does remind me of Returnal,
Yeah.
oddly enough. I don't know if you...
Oh, I know
Yeah.
what you mean.
That game is
rules.
really good. I cannot wait for that PC version. That's going to be sick.
I will replay the heck out of that
There
on
you
PC.
go. I finally have made it into the mushroom greenhouse thing.
Okay.
Oh, I just got teleported. That wasn't right. What am I supposed to do?
Look at the reflection texture they use
Yeah,
for this. That's
It's
pretty
really
funny.
out of place. It's just like glowing. Oh, you're supposed to...
But it is a drug trip.
Yeah, we can forgive any inaccuracies in rendering because this is a drug trip. It's just part of the experience.
Hardcore drugs.
Like this area,
Performance is
this
so
area is
bad.
like describes perfectly what's wrong with probe-based lighting. It is just like weird glowing.
Yeah, but what if you flood the scene with billions of probes?
Yeah, can kind of work. That's there was a tech demo years ago of NVIDIA showing. I forget what they did. It was like for every like couple centimeters there was a light probe, and it actually offered really convincing GI. But
What about if they did 1 PPP probe per pixel?
per pixel. That is an interesting thing that you say that. That is actually not a bad idea. I think that's how it's kind of done in stuff like back in the day, like Weta Digital would do it for the stuff before they used to ray tracing.
yeah.
It'd be like just like layer upon layer of probes. I know that's how they did it for Avatar.
I mean, yeah, you can totally do that offline and get it done. But I would say the hardware needed to do that fast in real time.
memory
It doesn't make sense
requirement.
to not just ray
Yeah.
trace and such.
Yeah.
You know, it's like
That's up.
but
That's the one thing about rasterization techniques is they don't scale right. Like you have to like keep doubling or tripling or quadrupling things to get better, like a better look. Whereas ray tracing doesn't require that as much. So
Yeah, ray tracing has it's difficult to reach the point where it's performant. Well, once you do, it's pretty even,
Yeah,
I
right.
guess. Whereas with these rasterization techniques, you the way they scale is pretty crazy. If you want more accuracy,
yeah,
eventually it becomes more expensive to rasterize than ray trace.
yeah, it really does. Okay, so I'm back at this house. My goodness,
The
door isn't
good
open,
doctor, Michelle.
this lighting in the scene though looks pretty great though. Like the time of day, it's really nice.
Yeah, I think so.
You still holding up at 60, Alex? Looks like it. Because it's really bad. Yeah.
So, John, you're saying this is the worst late gen game that came out for the system, but like, I think we should do at one point in time when it becomes appropriate. We're gonna do the Shadow of Mordor game, and we're just gonna see what the heck is going on there.
I'm slowly but surely adding horrible games to my PS3 library. All of this is building up to the inevitable showdown when we tackle Splinter Cell Double Agent.
I know.
Which is still one of the worst ports of all time.
Inevitable showdown.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. It was dreadful.
It's so bad. Oh, man.
Going
the
upstairs.
Poor PS Triple. Man, that bed shadow. Oof.
Mm-hmm.
It looks
pretty
good
looking
on PC. It's really low res on the triple.
Yeah, this is one of the good advantages of this time period for a lot of ports is that there was usually like a shadow map option on PC to help things out. In a case like this one, it really helps out. Those shadows are nasty on the console versions. Actually, thinking back on it, what is a game that you can recall from the Xbox 360 PS3 generation that used shadow maps? They had good looking ones off the top of your head. It's kind of hard to think of any. I guess
it would take time to actually research.
God of War 3 had really good shadows.
Which one?
God of War 3.
That is a good one, actually.
They even did a presentation at GDC about their shadows.
Yeah, crisp shadows.
Those were pretty good, actually.
So I'm looking at this. I mean, I'm playing it. I'm enjoying it. I mean, the performance is obviously terrible, but it is kind of like a performance Stockholm syndrome, where we're becoming conditioned to how bad it is, and it's not.
You kind of get used to it.
It's not that bad. It is that bad, but it is what it is. And I've actually been looking at the comments of the initial analysis, and there's people there can't believe it runs under 30. It's like my poor sweet children.
I really do love, though, in our last video we did, John was saying that maybe the Switch has got like a death grip on us, where we're so used to bad performance in like AAA games these days that we've become conditioned.
Well, one might argue, is this too big for Xbox 360 and PS3?
Yes, in the current design of whatever they're doing, completely. And I do wonder what it is, dropping everything down so often. Like, at this point in time, was it really resolution and like graphical fidelity? Like
they could have dropped. Well, they did drop resolution on PS3, but I think it's as close to native 720 on 360 as you're gonna get.
Like, was it really worth it?
So or they could have possibly done a performance mode. Possibly, it looks GPU bound, right?
Based upon everything we've seen so far, yeah. I mean, it could also be CPU, but it's obviously hard to tell.
Yeah.
These cutscenes, they go on and on and on.
So 360 1280 by 704. PS3 is not that far off. 1274 by 702. They seem to have some kind of weird letterboxing left and right, as well as up and down.
Yeah, exactly. There's a thin black border around the entire
That
image.
is really interesting. I mean, at that point in time, it is smart to do that, though, so you get at least, presumably on a 720p set, native pixel, which is way better.
Oh, Alex.
I know not one had a native 720p set. Dude, why is our time of day different?
There is there's basically almost no 720p native sets in existence.
And there never was. There were some projectors, right?
No. It's projectors and DLP televisions. The rear projectors.
Those are cool. They're huge,
Could do 1280 by 720, but pretty much everything else was like either 1366 by 768 or 1024 by 768.
So basically everybody was playing virtually the entire generation double scaling.
Awful.
To some degree.
Yeah. That was a pet peeve of mine. Like, I always had wanted an actual 1280 by 720 display, but it just didn't exist.
So are we actually doing anything at this point?
Now we can go fly.
Now
on
we
the
can
glider.
fly on
Let's
the
try that
glider.
again.
Oh my god!
If it's still there.
The time of day is different.
Yeah,
but
who knows why it
can still
shifted
do it.
though? There.
My glider's gone because I didn't die. So.
Oh no! You know what, Rich?
Yeah.
You're taking the.
Okay, Alex, let's do it.
I'm flying without the glider.
Let's wait for him.
Assuming, well,
No,
let's see
John.
what
I
happens when
unfortunately
it-
have already gotten in.
Too late. Well,
Like I
I'm
said, I'm
going.
gonna put on for this. I'm gonna put on the best Pilot Wings music I can find. Yeah.
Not Pilot Wings, but makes me think of Return Fire.
Yes, that's a good one. Dude, look at on my screen. If you look at the sun, there is a really nice lens flare.
Yeah.
It is really attractive.
That is good looking.
It's not overbearing. I honestly don't know where I'm going here. One thing that has just been
We're just
so
flying around.
annoying the entire time we're playing is there's so many tutorial things that keep popping up.
Yeah.
I know.
Goodness.
I wish they'd go away.
They're gonna totally mess with the way I have to crop this video when I'm making it. Okay, well, go to the Medusa. Okay.
Where's that?
I don't know. It's somewhere on the map. We'll see.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it's presumably the flashing yellow dot as it has been for the last hour and a quarter.
Yeah. So I haven't beaten and played a ton of Elden Ring beyond what I had to do for the coverage, but that game definitely deserves props for just not having the waypoints and everything like that. It is the way open world gaming really should be designed. It's really good. Oh, here we go.
So John, in particular, you rail against the Ubisoft formula, right? But this is all right.
Yeah.
And you quite like Far Cry 6 now, I'm hearing.
Yeah.
What about that, John? Huh?
Yeah.
It's comfort food sometimes. I would say in the
You
end,
liked,
Far Cry,
well, back in the day, you looked at 5 for us and you quite liked it.
I liked 5 as well. So I realized that I have issues with Far Cry, but I actually do fundamentally still enjoy them. They're kind of like junk food now. There is definitely some fun to be had within Far Cry. It's more like what I really don't like is what became of Assassin's Creed.
That is the big
absolutely.
shame.
And I've kind of hold that against them for that, because I know why they needed to change the formula a bit, but they lost me big time with oranges and up. Especially Valhalla, like I don't like those at
Syndicate
all.
wasn't great either.
It was very dire and dim and just.
It was basically a reaction to everything that went wrong with Unity, and it just came across to me like they were stripping out features as opposed to crafting something awesome.
It felt reactionary.
And there's Unity is a flawed game, of course, for sure, but I think it's still pretty good overall, and it has a lot of good stuff in it. And I wish they would have just. I guess that formula was worn, but I would like to see them go back to that, and maybe that's what they're doing here, and like really try to understand what was good and what wasn't, and try to rework from there.
Well, the issue is that every Assassin's Creed Unity video we do gets huge views.
Because people
That's
like
the thing.
it, yeah.
They need to bring it back. They need to remaster it.
I bet if they did a really nice remaster of that, it would be
It would do
well
really
received.
well. You know, bring in some of the more modern traversal mechanics.
Fix the LOD issues.
Yeah, absolutely.
It would look phenomenal.
So, are we taking on this mission? Am I even in the right place with this big boat?
Guess so. Am I going even to the right place at all here? I mean,
I don't think so.
I'm just like at some sort of outpost.
I think you've gone too early.
I've gone too early. Okay, well,
so to speak.
I'm gonna
There's
walk on by. I wasn't here. I was never here. Oh wait, there's a guy right here. Ah, crap! They spotted me. I'm gonna run away.
I think it's just great.
Yeah, I can see how somebody would play this on these consoles and still have fun.
Sure.
Like you say, it's a bit of Stockholm
Like
syndrome.
this is all you got.
But boy.
This is literally all you got.
But boy, does it! Oh, it feels bad. This whole thing without the the tearing issue is nuts.
See,
Okay, so I out of ammo.
Wow,
so I
it's
have to
taken me all the
go.
way back to the hand glider.
so at this point in time, when this game came out, I had a GTX 570 SLI, and I found on eBay Kleinanzeigen a really good deal on a third one, and I actually rocked Tri SLI GTX 570.
I went down. I ran out.
And there was a
Wow.
yeah,
Really?
and it actually worked. And the one interesting thing is it wasn't really talked about much back in the day, but Try SLI actually solved some weird issues that SLI would have in a lot of games, because like frame pacing would be different. Like if there was a game that had improper frame pacing with SLI, it would actually fix it.
Really?
It did. There was a whole bunch of crazy stuff that happened with Try SLI. Like it would also reduce latency because the AFR time window was smaller. There's like all these things.
Right.
Was latency identified as a key issue with it back in the day?
With
'Cause
AFR?
I don't remember people.
Nope.
I remember it being noted, but no sort of backlash as there is
Nope.
against DLSS 3.
Definitely wasn't, because it was all about the bar charts. You know, it was like no one.
Assassin's Creed Unity actually supports three-way SLI, and you get near perfect scaling.
Oh,
That's
that's the one thing I don't have in any of my retro PCs currently is an SLI board. They're all.
I've literally run out of space on my PC.
Oh yeah.
I have to move to another hard drive and start again.
It did save, right?
Sure.
Yeah, yeah.
I think so.
Not that it's a broken file or anything like that.
I don't think so.
Okay.
Well, perhaps we should start to reach
Yeah.
the end and wind down. While I'm just driving like a madman through here on the triple. Kind of impressed with the vehicle, like the first person point of view, like the way they animate this
Yeah,
Jeep
it is-
driving.
It is
It's pretty good.
uncompromising and really well done.
Like even at a low frame rate, it still somehow works. It doesn't feel stiff. It's got a good look.
Okay,
to it.
well then, let's indeed end it here. Even slightly anticlimactic because we kind of just wandered around at the end there.
Because I ran out of hard drive space, essentially.
Because Rich essentially ran out of hard drive space. But this is Far Cry 3. This is
Exactly.
how it ran. This is how it looked. That's all the cool stuff it did, or maybe it didn't do. Thanks for joining me, guys. It was really awesome having you here.
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
And funnily enough, of course, PC is still the best way to play even
Yeah,
today.
they needed ports.
Which was the conclusion of our face-off back in 2012, which is you've got to play it on PC. It's fine on current generation consoles, or rather the last generation, but it is 30 frames per second.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I was going into this expecting that the PS3 would become more powerful in those last 10 years.
Well, like
But
Obi-Wan.
unfortunately, it runs the same.
What a shame.
So here we are. And now it's in my library, unfortunately.
Yes, but if you did enjoy this video, please hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. If you're already a subscriber, hit that little bell in the corner to be informed as soon as Digital Foundry posts a video. If you want to help us out, support us on Patreon. Other than that, comment below, follow on Twitter, and this is Alex saying Auf Wiedersehen und